Grad defense is supposed to be how you've grown as a PA charter student. So from freshman year up until senior year, you've definitely changed and grown, and this is basically to show what kind of experience that you've gained as a 21st century learner. So first, these are my parents over here. This is my dad and my mom, Joe and Jonna. This is Molly, Miss Marsh, Miss Terry, Miss Lindsay, Mr. Stubbs in the back. These are a couple of my friends here. They came to support. While I was in high school, I played baseball. I ran track, but I'll get into that a little bit later. I'll go year by year, sort of. So, seems right. So we're gonna go into ninth grade. So the ninth grade project that I chose. So that's ninth grade me. And so the ninth grade project that I chose was the sugarcane project that we did in Miss Federoff's class. So in Miss Federoff's class, we had a project where we were put into that. She wanted us to enter into this contest when HCNS was closing, and so it was supposed to give the history of it. And so me and one of the seniors before, this is my partner in the project. His name is Jordan Lyon, and he graduated the year that that we did this project. And here's our little video. Hopefully it has slides. Lauren, isn't that a woman's name?
No, my grandfather's name.
All the men in your family have women's names?
No. At least I stand for something. Like your pineapple white.
I stand for the destruction of the government so that I can make more money.
Me too. Well, how about you come over for dinner?
That sounds like a grand idea.
Let's go.
So, it was a funny little skit that we did, and we ended up taking second prize overall in the contest. I don't know. That was the most memorable project from my 10th grade year, or 9th grade year. So here's my 10th grade project. So this was the year that I ran track and started getting more into KCS athletics. I ran cross country in this year. I did JV baseball for Maui High in the spring, or in the winter, and then I ran track in the spring. So that year was really where I crammed all my sports in and sort of tried everything. This is one of the projects that we did in 10th grade. So this was a Helping the Community of Kihei project. Logan Jones is actually in this room. He helped me out with this project. So this was a concept project where you had $10 million to help the community of Kihei, and what you were going to do with that $10 million. We decided that we would make tiny homes. So we looked into tiny homes and how cost effective they are, and we were like, let's see if we can make this creative and be part of like a homo shelter. So we had that little idea, and then we had the Kihei movie theater, which is actually a thing now. If we had $10 million, you would put a bunch of money into the movie theater, and then you would have a community resource. And then part 3 would be a track and field. So I was really into track back then, and the only public track on island, and I think in the whole state of Hawaii, is in town. And I think that Kihei would really benefit from having this track. And we didn't actually propose any of this to the government, but it was a fun concept project. I really enjoyed it. Let's go for 11th grade. So there's a picture of me. That's Zack on the side there. It's kind of season. So this is a baseball camp I did for my junior project. So the driving question for this project was, how can I get kids excited for baseball? So I'm really into baseball, and it's sort of my passion in life. And I'm actually going to college to play baseball. So during this project, I had a mentor. He mentored this project too, but his name is Leaf Channing Smith. It's right there in the middle. So these two are both Division I commits, and he helped them get there. My persuasive essay was why crack helps kids. So it was talking about the crack of a baseball bat and how that can affect a kid's life. So it affected my life for the better, and I'm trying to see if other kids can get along with that. Vision and proposal, I wanted to camp to excite kids about baseball, so I worked with the KA Little League. I talked to the president for a little bit. And my initial goals were to throw a camp and see if we can get kids excited. Phase 1, I contacted the Little League. This is the president of the Little League right now. And we got a bunch of 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds. Some of the people that actually go to the school here. Phase 2, I made a little flyer of it and they sent it out to their Facebook. And then I signed up, I think it was 13 or 14 kids, like right away. And then phase 3, we actually did the camp. So these are the group of kids that we got. I got a volunteer. This is my buddy Joey from town. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. I think that a lot of kids got really inspired by it. They came out, they hit some baseballs, threw some baseballs, and it was awesome. Project Reflection, this helped me grow my communication skills. So these are all the kids that joined the camp. And interpersonal skills. So I was working with a community partner, Kihei Little League, and Kihei Little League had some communication problems. He wasn't really responding to his emails or responding to his texts, so I had to keep getting on him about it. And I had 16 kids signed up, but only like 11 showed up. And it could have been a lot better. Could have communicated better. Takeaways for the future. This helps me understand how a practice is run. So how hard it is to be a coach and how hard it is to sort of run things. And then acknowledgements, I wanted to thank my dad for helping me throw the camp, LC for helping me get it set up, and Brad News and the Little League for helping me with that. So we'll go to senior project. So this is my senior project. We'll go.
Right there.
Oh, your trifle.
So this is my senior project. A lot of you were there. Stubbs was there. You were there. It was so the Tiger Shark Scramble was a golf outing to help raise funds for the KCS athletics and clubs. So here we go. So driving question, how can I help KCS athletics and clubs? So I figured that KCS after-school programs are very underfunded. So the track team and the cross-country team have to use the same 2 uniforms. The paddling team has to do a fundraiser every year. Our school is in need of money. And so what I decided to do with my project was try and bring that to them. So one of my mentors, again, was Leaf Smith. He's the director of golf at Mallory Newey. And then my other 2 mentors were my mom and my dad. I chose my mom and my dad. My mom really helped me stay on track with the classroom aspect of things, and my dad helped me with getting in contact with all the donors up there. Argumentative essays. So I talked about how after-school activities help make better citizens. So on average, they have higher GPAs, show up more to class, are in class longer, and have lower amounts of drug usage. So this was done by a study in Minnesota, and it really taught me a lot about how you should be involved with your school, and if you're able to play a sport or be involved in an after-school activity, you should. You definitely should participate in school activities. Vision and proposal. My product for this project was money. So I wanted to raise funds for the athletics and clubs, like I said before, and help the KCS community. So phase 1 was actually getting the whole date of my project set up. So we originally had December 1st. Me and my dad walked into the golf course and we had a meeting with the restaurant there and a meeting with the golf pro there, LC. And we got that date down and it was like, all right, we got our date, let's do it. And then in phase 2, we started handing out flyers, and then we got a call from our coach, hey, we got a tournament on that weekend, can we switch the date? So we changed the date to November 17th, because it's conflicting with that. And here's some of the goodies that we got. So these are all the donations that I received. Here's me changing the date. And so in this project, I learned a lot about graphic design. So we made this little logo here from scratch. We pretty much drew it by hand and then photocopied it. No, we took it off of the KCS website, put it onto the thing, and then drew it by hand on the computer. With the fonts and that. Phase 3, so phase 3 was actually the day of. So here's my little box of stuff that has all the prizes in it, stuff for dinner. Napkins, trash bags, that. Lunch tickets, here's some of the pictures that we had. This is me and a couple of the groups. Or this is me with the group doing the Babe Ruth. These guys got a hole-in-one technically. They had a mulligan thing. He threw the ball in the hole and then they got it in. They were all freaking out. This is another couple of groups. So project reflection. I knew that this was a really big project walking into it. So I knew that I was going to be doing a lot of things. And with a big project, where do you start? Do you start with the golf course? Do you go to them? Do you go to the restaurant first? Do you go to the school first? So I went with the approach, ask for forgiveness, not permission. And I went right to the golf course before we even did our vision proposal. So I went right to the golf course and asked them, hey, can we do this? So if I could go back and do it again, I would have done all my paperwork here first and then went off to the golf course. And then we had another problem on the day of where we didn't communicate well enough, and our coach put us down for 10:30, and we were supposed to be there at 12:30. Kind of gave me a little bit of a heart attack, and hopefully my dad really helped me in that situation.
Does that mean that was it booked like after, like you didn't get the venue the whole time? Or?
We got the venue the whole time, but our coach was like, "You guys are tea time at 12:30. You guys are all going out at 12:30 or 10:30." So he put us down for 10:30, and I had 36 people showing up at 12:30. So 2 hours later, we were having people show up, and they were supposed to be going out at 10:30, according to the golf course. So it was a terrible communication. So takeaways for the future, this project, I learned a lot about graphic design and making a flyer. If your flyer looks good, more people are going to show up. I think that some of the reason that we had a lot of people show up is because I made a good flyer and it looked organized. So it looked organized to the people, so they thought it was going to be an organized event. It was going to be fun and good. So we ended up raising about $2,000 for the school. And another thing that I learned was that you'd be surprised how many businesses are willing to help. So I think seriously, every single business that we went to, we got donations. They were like, yeah, let's help. It's like free advertising. And they put their name on the school and it helps. For them, it's not that big of a donation. Like a $100 gift card for somewhere, people might not even use it. It's a huge donation for us, and it's not that big for them. And then acknowledgements, I wanted to thank all our sponsors, Lava Rock 3s, 808, Deli, Nalus, Kaikanani, 808 on Main. People who participated in the golf outing, there's a lot of names on that list, and I didn't have all of them, but thank you to them. Thank you to my mentors, Mom, Dad, and LC. And then Stubbs, he really helped me through this process. Miss Lindsay helped me through the process of getting out of here early. Mr. Zaro helped me in getting all the money collected, and Mr. Federoff on the same thing. But last but not least, Miss Terry. Miss Terry has been a really great help this semester, and she's really been on my side this entire time. Next, we'll go. So this isn't really a school-related thing, but I just wanted to share this with you guys because it's been a big part of my life right now. So I'm committed to go play at Ottawa University in Arizona, and this is sort of the email that started it all. So my coach basically told me, he's like, hey, I'm looking at this school here, it's called Ottawa. I don't know if you want to check it out. So I'm like, all right, I'll check out the coach, I'll check out the people. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna send this email to them. And I got a thing back, and he was like, yeah, we'll come see some of your games, and why don't you come for a campus visit? Why don't you do this, this, and this? And this is sort of what started it all for me in this process. And without this email, I don't know where it would be now. I would probably be not going to college.
You reached out, you stepped up and reached out.
Yes. So I wrote the little composed this email. My dad helped me out with it. So I said, I'm going to be graduating in December. I'm looking for a school to start with, working out with, training in January. And then I gave my team and our schedule. Shot out the email. And that was kind of what started it all for me right now. So I'm going to go to from there. Where was my object sheet? So let's talk about my internship for a little bit. So here's my internship. So I interned on the Kaikanani Sailing Charters. Kaikanani Sailing Charters is a boat that goes out to Molokini daily. I worked there on the boat as a crew. So basically, you hop in the water, show people some cool stuff, and then hop out and make sure everybody's safe. So I was kind of a glorified lifeguard, more or less. So, and then here's a couple days that we did volunteer work at Big Beach. We want to keep the west side or the south side of Maui really clean for everybody to keep enjoying it for the future. So we pulled all of this out of the ocean one day. This is my mentor during the whole internship. His name is Anthony De La, something like that. But he's one of the captains on the boat, and his son's go to school here. He was really a big help in getting me to this position. My mom also works for the company, and I'm part-time crew right now, and the van washer. And we'll stay with that. So, financial plan. So, I'll be living at Ottawa in the dorms there. So, the price of tuition and food are included in the tuition cost, I believe. So, it's about $40,000 a year to go to Ottawa for us, and I'm getting a $10,000 scholarship. At the end of the year, every year for all athletes, they do this thing called an exit interview, and they sort of go through your season, what your stats were, how you're doing in the classroom, how you're doing overall as a person, and they go through it and they're like, hey, they sit down with you and they're gonna go, we can give you more money, or we can give you less money, you're gonna stay the same. So that's sort of what I'm living for right now, is that exit interview, working towards that, so see if I can get more money and then I can keep going to this school. I won't need transportation because I'm living on campus, and the baseball team will sort of take me everywhere. During the summer, I plan on playing in a collegiate league somewhere. The coaches said that throughout the season they'll find a collegiate league for us to be put in. And I looked up plane prices back to Maui, and it's about $400 per trip. And then fall semester would be the same as the spring, but I wouldn't be traveling as much with the baseball team. And then winter, I'll most likely come back home here for Thanksgiving and Christmas. All right, well, finally some memories. So this was, me and my family did a little hike. This is my summer last year, Big Beach Day. This was Twin Day last year. We went to K&I. Everybody's passed out. Student government. K&I again. Another big stay.
You were in student government last year?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't
I've been
know
a
that.
student government since summer.
Are you in it this year too? Oh, you are, okay.
And some baseball trips. Well, let's see. Let's cover everything.
It's been a while since I've watched one of these, so it's rusty to me.
Alright, so any questions?
Financial?
Oh, we did, yes.
Yes? Technically, you're not supposed to say 21st century skills in this project. You're supposed to show it. Right, Mrs. Lindsay?
Yeah, it's supposed to be implied.
So I'm having implied 21st century